Hello and welcome, my lovely Taurus. Taurus, this is your weekly intuitive energy and card reading for the week of January 27th through February 2nd, 2020. This is time is merely a pretense. This can be past, present, and or future energies. I'm naming this Champions Week because it's Super Bowl week and we need to feel that championship hero energy within us, taking the last shot. And we've also lost an ascendant master of the game of basketball and life, really, is Kobe Bryant. I always feel like I have to defend him, and he has passed away because a lot of people are very hateful because he did have that rape charge against him. But if you lived in LA, you would have known that he was a brat before then, and he wasn't after. He was definitely a changed man. And so we are able to greatly appreciate everything he did for us as an athlete, as a person, very attentive. People are telling stories about him that nobody's ever heard before, and people are shocked about the man he has become. Or, I mean, people aren't as great of a superhero on the court he was. People aren't really talking about his great basketball. They're almost, it's almost negligent compared to a lot of the human stories he had, including one, the Phoenix guy that calls the games there said that he had a heart attack, and Kobe Bryant sent him flowers, and then when he went to thank Kobe for the flowers, Kobe gave him the riot act and said, "What are you doing? You have a baby on the way in 2 months and you're having a heart attack, you crazy man." You know, because he cared. He really did care, and he gave attention to people, but he also had that extreme focus. You know, better gets better. He worked his butt off. You know, all these athletes make a lot of money, but not all of them are superstars. And does that mean that maybe they didn't put in all the work? Some of them could have worked harder. We do know it. We know players who don't work very hard, and you don't last in the city of LA if you don't work hard. We actually adore some of our bench players more so than some of our starters because of that. Ask Howard what it's like to be hated by Laker Nation. And, you know, he's having a pretty good year, and he's kind of coming back around into our hearts and minds because he's fighting for that championship. He's showing us what, you know, top athletes are supposed to do and supposed to be. You know, wasted talent in the City of Angels is shocking how it's disruptive to people's lives, and yet we're still not chasing our dreams. We're still not taking that final shot. We're still not acting with excellence, par excellence. I hope it's not the belief that you need money, or you need coaches, or you need to be raised right. You guys, the way people are talking about Kobe, for all the work he did and for all the 5 championship rings that he won, he actually was just a very good human being. People, he reminded us, you know, what really mattered. And even some of the people who have are experiencing his death, some people are saying they're shocked how they feel it, and it's recalled some feelings of like losing a brother or a sister, and it's like dredged up those feelings again, and because you didn't realize how valuable he was. And there are actually people more valuable in your life that have influenced you more than the superstar may have, but you kind of take him for granted just as much as Kobe Bryant may have been taken for granted, as an example of how to do it. All right, let's get to it. Taurus is general reading. This can be advice from Spirit. I didn't mean to pull those too soon. All right, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave out all the rest. Let's get to it. Me being the Queen of Clovers, my readings tend to focus on life, craft, action, nurturing ourselves and others, and using our will for the highest good and calling. This is my charismatic gift I share with you with unconditional love and gratitude, and I thank you now for all your likes, your subscribes, your views alone to help the channel. I do sincerely thank you for the success of the channel and it being able to hold its own. I don't do personal readings. A lot of people in the beginning when I first started were too busy challenging me. And that's another thing. You really need to believe right now. Now's the time to believe and really believe in your own power, your own strength. the strength of a champion. What lessons did you learn? You know, one of the things I talk about is live your life like, you know, you had great sex the night before and you're just in love with the world and you're smelling flowers and you feel the sun on your skin. You should also, if you can't reach for that, at least reach for, you know, what was it like to have your high school team beat the shit out of another team, or the Lakers, you know, what's it like for them to have won the championship the night before? It's that kind of energy you should be living with on a day-to-day basis. You shouldn't be withholding that energy. You shouldn't be saving it up. You shouldn't be hoping, if you just do enough, it won't hurt too bad, because that was another example of Kobe, is his inability to be held down by injury and pain. It's pretty shocking. That's why his career lasted as long as it did. I'm clearly a fan. Think what you want, but let's get to the reading. All right. Taurus, right now I just have, you're just not moving forward, and that's because you're up in your head about too many things and you're not being very decisive, specifically decisive for yourself. You're trying to make decisions for everybody at the same time, and what happens is you can't know what's, I always tell people, never take away somebody else's free will by trying to make decisions or trying to influence them one way or the next, because they are going to be inspired and they're going to get messages from above and all around them that you can't know. And so once they make those decisions for themselves, they will actually be the right decisions. You making the decision for them is just forcing them into a hole that might, you know, you don't know everything the other person knows, especially when dealing with adults. I'm talking about adults here and teenagers. Yeah, that's really, that's big. You're trying to make decisions based on too many other people and, or determinations, and not yourself. So it has everybody in a mess. I do also I have the Nine of Pentacles in the center of the reading, which is a very solo energy, but it's also that energy of your attractive energy. It is the energy of a woman who is, you know, self-abundant, who has made it on her own, can take care of herself or himself. Don't get hooked up on the genders. And you're not open. You're kind of closed off, so that your Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. You're not going to actually get to that super physical completion with the way you are being closed-minded, the way you are absolutely no, no, no. So it's really weird, because in one instance, you're open to many different possibilities based on other people's desires. That's kind of the energy you're coming into the reading with. But the energy that's going to hit you this week is, I can take care of myself and I'm great, but you can't, but you're not moving to the Ten of Pentacles. Why? Because you're not open. You're probably not open to what other people want. And so what's happening is, you know, you have to build a legacy. A legacy is about giving back to the people around you, your family. You have to build that legacy. It's never going to work out so well as a group project unless people can move into different avenues of a company they want to. Otherwise, it just kind of gets a bit dumpy. It doesn't get Ten of Pentacles. It doesn't become like, you know, like, yeah, somebody can go in the marketing, somebody can go into accounting, somebody can go in product development, you know, all kinds of different aspects. Somebody can go in installation. You see what I'm saying? You can't expect people to accept the roles given to them, especially like CEO or anything like that, and do well. It's just not how legacy is built, and you're trying to build it by overly controlling. And in doing that, because people are slippery and they don't want to be controlled, you're jacking up your own desires and your own wishes. And that's why I have the One of Cups in reverse here for you. And again, Page of Wands in reverse did start out the reading, means you're not moving forward, not feeling very passionate about it. The King of Swords in reverse could have an Aquarius in your energy not doing so well, but this is more likely, no, this is definitely you not deciding, because you're kind of holding out for something, but and you're also not putting any heart into it. There's a lack of emotions here. It's an attempt to make everything pentacled the right thing, you know, the earthen thing, when people don't live that way. It's just not how people work. It's like, you know, you're trying to be efficient with people, but you cannot be efficient with people. You must be effective with people, kind of thing. It's a nuance that you are missing right now, Taurus, in making a grand scheme. An attempt to make a grand scheme. You are going to come out on top with the Nine of Pentacles standing alone, but the way you see it right now is a negative, when no, that's going to be a positive for you, holding on to your own, being able to do your own. Taking you back to the One of Swords here, you're just, they call this intellect cards, information, it's the inspiration cards, idea card. You do have some ideas that are worthy, but with the Three of Pentacles, the plans are not going so well. The plans have stalled out. And the reason the plans have stalled out is because you're trying to include too much. You're adding too much. But I do have you going to the Eight of Pentacles. You're going to keep working. You're going to keep working on the main goal. You may not have been able to bring everybody together for under the same roof kind of thing, or in the same kingdom, but for certain, my lovely Taurus, you need to stop overly considering others in terms of physical aspects, Taurus. You need to start considering them in emotional aspects. You've kind of closed off this part of yourself. It's why you got the Four of Swords in reverse, as in preparing for battle. You're not actually being receptive and resting in the company of others, kind of thing. And even people you love. You're trying to think it through, and it's getting you nowhere. That's why. It's because you, again, like, it's that whole nuance. You're trying to be effective with others. Instead, you need to be, you're trying to be efficient with others, you know, pentacled, planning and filling out boxes kind of thing, when you need to be effective with others. Okay, let's see, many cards, Spirit. Give me a couple more for the advice for my Taurians. Yeah, without any heart, work is going to be a lot harder. Work is going to be a lot harder for some of you, if not already. You feel like it's impossible to get where you want to go, and that's just because there's no heart, there's no desire in it. You're just trying to do too much of the right thing, but necessarily the right thing to do. It's just some kind of nuance, and you're going to have to change your mind about it this week, and I think you will, because of the planning. You're really running out of the patience, and the planning is becoming not being able to plan is driving you bananas. And that's because you're trying to include too many and too much. Kind of take it off the gas a little bit, my loves. But it's going to be okay. There's going to be some kind of reunion with a parent. Spirit is saying there's going to be some kind of reunion, family party. This is a parent, mother, or father with the King of Cups. Could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in your energy. This is a family card because I do have the 6 here, and Cartomancy is a lot about 6, but it's a lot about give and take relationships. It's about and not so much, I know this is Pentacle, but it's still not pulling up as financial next to 2 Cups cards next to the King of Cups. It's saying a give and take relation. It's a more symbiotic relationship, less one person doing everything and one person doing nothing. Taurus, I'm sure you always get the short end of the stick in that game, because you guys are workers, like an Aries. We're at the top of the energy, top of the solar year, but this is that energy of you're not overdoing it anymore. You're not exasperating yourself anymore. Things are going to balance out, and you won't feel this need to there's something about this. It's like an event. It's like some kind of event or family reunion. I think your parents are going to be involved in some way, and basically things will be said or something. Somebody's going to say something to you. It might even be passing, but it's going to change your perspective. It's going to give you that perspective that you need, that inspiration, that mental candy that you need to stop planning the way you are, because it ain't working anyway. So you're not too hard or broken about breaking that up, and then that gets you your fire under the ass to get your heart cleaned out, clear out some of your cups, get your energy feeling good again. It's that fire under the ass card, and the card of total family group happiness, because you're going to suddenly see the happiness of the now, the happiness of that can be if you're not overly, if you're not trying to guide people like chess pieces. It's kind of like, you guys are going to feel good about that, actually, my loves. All right, Taurus, thank you for sharing your energy with me. This is actually a really good ending to this reading. I thought you guys were going to, All right, please like, subscribe, share, comment, tip or donate if the spirit moves you. Everything is in the box below. And of course, have a great rest of the week, my lovely Taurus.